Hello everyone, and today we have for repair a graphic card. This is a GeForce RTX 2080 Ti from a company Palette. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for sending this graphic card that long. It came to us from Japan. About story, how it got broken is unavailable as far as I could get, so let's put it in our test stand and check in resistance and see what powers are going up. This card is hungry enough. It comes with the 8-pin connector. Also, the owner of this graphic card says that so far this card does is nothing. It doesn't get warm and fan is not spinning. So let's confirm our problem. We can see our card is not detected and doesn't bypass our postcode 2E, which is basically our initialization of a PCI Express slot. Let's disassemble and have a closer look. What it looks for me, and that what owner of this graphic card says to us, is that this graphic card already been opened before, and also a little pre-story is that this card already been in another repair store, but due to offered too expensive price for repairing it, he declined it. So far what I had to pick is I don't really see any attempts on fixing this card, so that increases our chances. Also what I can add from myself is one of the reasons why I think this card couldn't be swapped out under the warranty is because the connector where it attaches a fan is kind of broke off in half, and that's more than enough for NVIDIA to decline your warranty request. Preparing our test and plugging our 8-pin connector. Also preparing our multimeter and putting it into direct voltage measurements. And let's launch it up for the first time. Our chip is just dead out. Let's just double check. Because those chips, they are not even available for sale. Even if they are, they go around, I'd say $600. But our chip is just cold out. It's not even getting warm. Let's start from our main powers. First we will start from a power which supplies our computing blocks of a GPU. And it's just 0. Next power what we will be checking is our memory, and also that supplies our memory controller of a GPU, and just straight 0. Other two phases what we see over here, that's what it looks our PCI buffer phase, and is 0, and another one that might be our PLL phase, 1.8 volt line, but that could be other consumer phase to our GPU, but is a straight 0, and that's not how it's supposed to be. On this side I don't really see other phases, except what I'm thinking is our 12 volt line from our PCI Express, and that's present. Thank you so much. On this side we don't really see any other phases. On other side what it looks located our base powers for on our GPU, and those impress coils what it looks for us, that's our powers to offer 12 volt line. Okay. That's present. That's also present. And the third one is present. Force one. Okay, let's just double check. Okay, let's triple check. And just some millivolts go through. But actually I'm thinking that this phase is our 5-volt line due to right next to it located. There's no marketing on it, but what it looks like is located a converter. How I said there is no marketing, so what it looks like is just a typical 100 kilohertz 3 amperes step down converter with embedded transistors into it. We will be checking, we'll be back to that phase. Let's just keep measuring our phases. Other two phases what we see on this side is those two, and what it looks also 12-volt line due to locating right next to this phase power transistor case. And let's see what we have over here. And 12 volt is present on this phase, and on another one and on another one just zeroness. After resistance mode we will be able for sure tell what this phase is about, but so far anyway straight zero doesn't work for us. Another phase what we will be looking, and that's on the back, that's our 3.3 volt line, and let's just make sure that that also present. Beautiful. Okay. And before we will start measuring our resistance and our phases, let's see how our power is built on this graphic card. How we can see, our graphic card is 16-phased. First 3 phases from the top, it delivers a power to our memory. Other 13 phases, it supplies the power to our GPU. Those phases, they are getting controlled with the DR MOSFETs. That's DJ30. I've never seen it before. And those DR MOSFETs, they started coming with RTX graphic cards. And besides just increasing them by characteristics, which each of them can handle up to 70 amperes, that's even more than enough for overclocking. They also been added with the helpful, useful features, such as temperature controlling, current monitoring through MOSFETs, and that's for me the most useful feature is short detection on a 12-volt line. Beautiful. So 6 phases are getting controlled straightly from our first main controller, which is located over here, and other 6 phases they are getting controlled from a second our main controller, which is located on the back, and that's a UP9512P. Also, never seen it before. Other 4 phases they're getting controlled with our 2-phase controllers. First one is located over here, and a second one on the back, right next to our main controller over here. That's a UP7561Q, same thing, never seen it before. But actually what I've noticed is instead of drivers, and that's what they started doing from a 1080 Ti's graphic cards, they started using controllers, which drivers, they usually do their job on a hardware level, but controllers, they're already helping to build a smart power system. And those controllers, as for example manipulating our PCI Express phase, PLL, and other phases, they have very useful features as such as over voltage protection, over current protection, over temperature protection, soft start. Soft start, that basically helps correctly organize the limitation of a starting current. Let's be closer to our business and preparing our multimeter we put into resistance mode, minus plug into a minus. And as we could already sort of figure out how the problem lays in base power circuit, but just to be sure that it was us proceeding a repair, let's see resistance on our main power switch chip. Let's first start from our memory phase, and we have a 48 ohms. That's in a range of normal. On our PLL, we have 1.8 kilo ohms. That's a perfect resistance for a PLL. The next our phase what we will be checking is a PCI buffer. And on a PCI buffer we have 8 ohms. That's something I was expecting. So we have a good resistance on that phase as well. So coming back to our power circuit, as we remember, we missing power on our 5-volt line, and that's actually, after closer look, that's also our 5-volt line due to pretty familiar driver which is located next to this phase. This driver is unmarked, but I've seen this driver on multiple other GeForce graphic cards. I've seen it on 1070s, 1070 Ti's, on 1080 series. So that's our 5-volt line, which supplies all our drivers on the RMOSes, and this 5-volt line, it already supplies other our controllers, which delivers the power to our main controller and powers up our other phases to our chip. Let's see what we have resistance on our first 5-volt line, and we have 5.3 mega ohm. That's perfect for this phase. And for our other 5-volt line we have 2.5 ohms, and that's too low for a power line. That's resistance is too low. Okay, let's prepare our power supply. As always, if we are not sure what phase is it, let's put 1.2 volts. That's a safe power to all phases on a graphic card. And current, let's start from 2 amperes. As well, I'd like to say that I've used on 980 Ti, which we fixed before, all my freezer, so I'm out of freezer right now. I don't have anything except alcohol. So we will be, hopefully it will be visible with the alcohol. How we said that this 5-volt line powers up all our DRMOSes. So let's first check our first line over here. Actually, let's check all of them. Let's just spread it evenly. Let's spread it evenly over here. Okay, and let's see what it does. It takes 1.2 amperes. Okay, and that's, I already see where we have a short. Now we can see this corner is disappearing alcohol, and next to it as well. No? Am I? Okay, let's see how we can already get for us that a driver is located on the top right corner. So let's just keep an eye on the top right corner of every DRMOS. Let's see it again. All other ones looks good. Yeah, next to it as well is out. Okay, so far what we could tell is this driver, oh, this DRMOS and this DRMOS is out. So let's remove them up. What we have is, after removing those two DRMOSes, actually I remove a coil as well just to be sure that we're having a problem now with 5-volt line. So our resistance after removing those two coils didn't go up, so I did same exact procedure and found out that this DRMOS is getting hot. After removing these DRMOS, our resistance went up, but just slightly up to 10 ohms. So did same exact procedure once again, and this DR was out. So remove this DRMOS, and what we're having right now is our resistance again went up to 40 ohms, which is okay. Let's see a power consumption as well. Now we are sure that that's our 5-volt line, so we can easily put our 5 volts over there. Okay, and let's see. And it's taken about 300 milliamperes. That's not appropriate current consumption for a 5-volt line. And as well, by this current we won't be able to see what DRMOS is out right now. And put in more than 5 volts, I'm just a little bit too afraid, because it could just go through and kill our chip eventually. So here's the two ways. First way is to play a Russian roulette. Is basically taking out one by one the DRMOS and see if we have any changes. But I think it will take longer time, and I don't like playing Russian roulette, so we will go a second way, which is basically removing all of them out, and that's, I think, eventually what it will lead to, that we will have to remove all of them. So yeah, let's go this way.
I can't betray my love, oh, somehow. Oh, no, I cannot betray my love, no, not now.
And let's see if we have any changes. We do have a changes. How we can see our resistance again went up, but by just 20 ohms, and that's not enough. Before we come to any conclusions, let's see after removing our short what kind of power we are getting on our 5-volt line, because what it looks like eventually happened a serious voltage surge, which eventually killed almost the whole our 5-volt line. And for that we will have to put our coil back, and that's what I already did. Okay, let's see what we have on our 5-volt line. Launching up first our computer. Okay. And we have over 10 volts. Well, this video is more about confirmation of a problem and what has been done so far on this graphic card for our friend, because at this point I won't be able to do much help. Of course, after working around 10 volts along this graphic card, it did a lot of damage. And besides just replacing 16DR MOSFETs, we have to find in a short, and might actually not be only one. Even if we have a freezer, 300 milliamperes won't be visible on this graphic card. The only thing what might help us at this point is the infrared thermal camera, which obviously I'm not possessing at the moment. For those actually who will tell, well, just increase the voltage on this phase, that's by how you will increase the current, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. On this 5V line also sitting beside our DR MOSFETs, other drivers and other logical elements, as from this side, as from other side, and if we increase the voltage on this phase, it's gonna kill one by one all of them until we get to our inner short. It's already kinda hard to get 16DR MOSFETs, and if we end up on replacing also not knowing logical elements, this repair comes to impossible. This plan would work if we had same exact graphic card for parts. Then yes, we could go plan B. Either way, thank you for watching. At least we had a look on how power is built on this graphic card on the 2080 Ti. Yes, it did help, it did save our chip and the memory, but our problem hasn't been illuminated. On the other hand, it actually even got a little bit spread over our power socket. Thank you for watching. Put your likes, dislikes, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you. Bye.